Hello and welcome to Edupedia world. So the first thing we want to do is just create a new composition and call this animation. And a black background will be fine. Let's just make it an even 24 frames per second. And here we are. So if we just create a new solid and let's make this white, and let's just not make it so large, so 250 pixels by 250 pixels. And here we go. This is our box, and as you can see we can move it around, so this is very useful for when we want to animate this thing. So as you can see, we want to animate this box so that it moves from this position in this corner, and then through, let's say, 6 seconds. At 6 seconds we want this box to be over here. That means when we move the cursor or this time thingy from 0 seconds up to 6 seconds, we want to see this box move in between those points like this. So how do we do that? We can't just go to 0 seconds and say, okay, we want it to be here, and at 6 seconds we want it to be there. But because as you can see, there's no animation, and that's because we have to enable the animation, and we have to choose what part of this box we want to animate. Because if you go into this box under transformation, you can see we have some different options. We have the anchor point, position, scale, rotation, opacity. I've already gone over these things. But the thing is, we want to not animate the scale, the rotation. We only want to move it around. So that means we have to animate the position. And the way we animate, or the way we enable animation, is by clicking this little icon here to the side of position. I think it's a stopwatch, and let's just try and click it. There we go. And when we've done that, this little panel over here pops up, and if we look here, we can see there's a little dot, and this is actually a keyframe. If we double click this keyframe, we can see what it contains. So it has these values. So X has to be 354, Y 772, and that's also what we have going on down here. So this just means that at this point in time where this little keyframe is, the box will have these position values. As we can see, there's no difference. The box isn't moving, and that's because if we look down here, there is only one keyframe. So that means the box will have only one position. But if we move this cursor to, let's say, 6 seconds, and yeah, that's even 6 seconds, then we can change the position for this point. So if we just move this, it will automatically create our keyframe. So we just want to move this box over here, and as you can already see, there's a line in between. This tells us that the box will move in this this line, and as you can see, we have also created a new keyframe at 6 seconds that says that the box has to have these position values. So 1640 by and 260. So if we move the cursor, then we will see the box moving in between those 2 points. If we press 0 on our number pad, we will see this in real time. So this should take exactly 6 seconds, and then the box will stop. Bam. And it does. So here we are. This is just a very simple animation where we have made a box that moves from point to point. You can see we have these handles here, and we can actually drag those to anywhere we want, and then the box will follow the curve that we have created. So as you can see, we can drag these around and then pretty easily get a very interesting path for the box to follow. So as you can see now, I've made like a wave, and then if we just hit 0 to preview, you can see the box is following that path. If we take this keyframe and move it closer to, let's say, around 3 seconds, then what will happen is that the animation will be twice as fast, because we have halved the time that the box has to move from the first to the second keyframe, and that means the box will move twice as fast, and it sure does. We are currently using something we call linear keyframes, and that means the box will move at the exact same speed this whole animation. From this keyframe to this keyframe, it will move completely linear between those keyframes and have the exact same speed. It won't have the same speed between this keyframe and this keyframe and this keyframe and a new keyframe. That doesn't that's not how it works. But between these two keyframes, it will have the same speed, because we're using linear keyframes. But there are other keyframes that will let you fade the speed. So that means it will accelerate, start slowly, and then accelerate up to speed, and then slowly decrease the speed and like gently stop. If we take a look at the animation now, it's pretty harsh, and the box just suddenly moves and suddenly stops. But we can change that if we just right click on this, and then we can go to Keyframe Assistant, and then if we choose Easy Ease or press F9, so highlight this, press F9 on the keyboard, you can see it changes, and this is now an Easy Ease keyframe. We can do the same to the other, and now the box will fade, so it will accelerate up to speed and then decelerate and stop very nicely, very smoothly. And as you can see, it does just that. It's much more smooth, and some people think it's nicer to look at. I'll just shorten the workspace so that we have just the right time shown. And as you can see now, we have a nice smooth animation. Bam. Let's just reset our animation. So the way we do that is just by clicking this time stopwatch, and now our animation will be gone. If we click it again, we get a new try. So if you aren't happy with the animation, you can always just do that. So let's say we want this box to move. So we have our first keyframe. Of course, the thing is, you can take keyframes, you can move them around. You can delete keyframes by just highlighting them like this and then just pressing delete. And now there are no keyframes and the animation has disappeared. So you can also create keyframes by pressing this button over here. So now we have created 3 keyframes, but since they all have the same position values, they will all the box won't move. So If we're in between these keyframes, let's say we want to add a keyframe, so we can add one right here, roughly in between. We can just move the box like this, and we will have a keyframe. So you can see, oh sorry, some animation. So here it says it has to be in this position, and then this keyframe tells it to be here. This tells it to go back. We can add a new one over here, bam, and it will go back. So let's just preview this. There's our animation. Let's say we think this animation, we like the animation, it's very, very nice, but we want it to go a bit faster. Then the thing we can do is just go in and take these keyframes and then put them together so they are closer together. And as we can see now, it moves a lot quicker because it has less time to do the motion. But having to go in and move each keyframe by hand like this will make your animation a bit off, so you can't like get the exact same distance between these keyframes. So there are another way that's much easier. If you highlight all the keyframes and then hold Alt on the keyboard, then you can actually change the aspect ratio of these keyframes, and they will move in between, so you will have the right tempo, or whatever you can call it. So you see now, boom, 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 it's perfect. And we can make it faster. Hold Alt, push them together, and there we go. Let's say we want this box to do this twice. We can highlight these and Control C to copy them, and then if we go over here we can paste them. Sorry, let's see. No, I said something wrong. You can't copy paste animation. I thought you could do that. But now you can see we have some pretty cool animation. Let's just take this animation, drag it out once again, and you can see we are now working with linear keyframes. If we were to make these all easy ease, then we will get a bit smoother motion. Let's just preview it. So you can see every time the box goes to a keyframe, it slows its speed all the way to a full stop, and then it accelerates again, slows, accelerates, decelerates, accelerates, decelerates. So you get like a box that moves fast, slow, fast, slow. And maybe that isn't what you want. Maybe you just want the box to accelerate from the first keyframe and then decelerate at the last keyframe. So let's just undo when we made this all easy, and then you can actually just only add easy ease to the first and the last keyframe. This way it will only decelerate and accelerate from the first and the last keyframe. You can also add easy ease keyframes in the middle, so now it will always easy ease at this position. And there you go. Thank you for watching Edupedia World. Stay tuned for more videos.